Hi, I'm Sammy Bullock. I'm the founder and inventor of Intervieux AI, an AI-powered, fully conversational job interview software designed specifically for college students to crush their interviews out of college and land their dream jobs. As reported by a 2025 hiring manager survey by HR Drive, half of employers reporting that graduates lack interview-ready skills. Nearly half of recent graduates say that they feel underprepared for even entry-level jobs. Meanwhile, roughly 1 in 4 hiring managers claim that recent graduates are unprepared for interviews. In an OECD study of students finishing school, around 4 in 10 said that they lack the job interview skills needed to perform well in a job interview. Pair that with the fact that nearly half of recent graduates feel underprepared for entry-level roles, and it's very clear that there's a very serious readiness gap that we need to fill. When you look at the statistics, it becomes incredibly clear. Students are academically prepared, but not interview prepared. And that gap can mean the difference between a student landing his dream job and not. And we are stepping in to fill that gap. Career centers are asked to support thousands and thousands of students each year, often with limited staff, limited time, and rising expectations from employers. Traditional workshops and mock interviews are valuable, but they're difficult to scale and even harder to personalize. Interview was created to solve exactly that. It is a fully conversational, AI-powered interview simulation platform designed specifically for universities to aid these college students. A tool that allows every student, no matter their background or major, practice real interviews anytime, anywhere, with personalized feedback for any role imaginable. For most students, and myself included as I was coming out of college, interview preparation is honestly just guesswork. They rehearse alone, search the internet, and walk into interviews without ever experiencing pressure, structure, anxiety, or expectations of the hiring manager that they're going to be sat in front of. As a result, many very talented students greatly undersell their ability to perform well in any job, especially for first-generation students, international students, and those who lack access to individualized coaching. That led me to create Intervieux. Our main goal is to just help students land the jobs that they want to have out of college. Our belief is that no student should lose a job just because they didn't do so hot on the interview. If you think the job is right for you and you have the qualifications on paper, just the fact that you don't understand the interview or maybe were tripped up here and there should not disqualify you from the job. So it's your job as the student to be as prepared as possible for that. We designed a platform that helps universities close that gap and elevate student career outcomes. So I want to go ahead and jump in and show you guys the tool that we've built so you can kind of get a feel for what the product actually does. So this is us jumping into the actual software. So this is the actual web app that the students would have access to. Students can come in here and select the job or industry they're targeting, and then our system will instantly create tailored interviews complete with behavior-based prompts, technical questions, and role-specific scenarios. The AI responds in real time, evaluating clarity, structure, relevance, communication style, and depth of insight. After each response, students receive feedback they can act on immediately. For institutions, this creates something that has really hardly been possible until today: a scalable, measurable, data-driven approach to interview readiness. You, as a career center, will have all the data for this. You will have a custom-built dashboard where you can see all the statistics, and you can actually click into students and see how they interview, how they match up, and you'll be able to see that on the back end, which we can show you that back end on one-on-ones. We can actually show you what that might look like as a university. You'll be able to see all that data. This is what the student's view might be after the interview. So this was a dummy interview that we did, where we basically just asked it if it could see our resume, and its answer was yes. And yes. So this is where the student can see the transcript for the interview that they just had or had in the past, so you can just scroll down and see everything. This is where the interview will be scored, and you can plot that against the average here. Down here is where the student can see their analytics over time, which is a view similar to what the university would have just for the entire interview or the entire campus. And then finally you get actionable feedback, and you can actually ask for specific feedback based on certain characteristics displayed. And we can run through that together here so you can kind of get a feel for what it is exactly we're looking at. But with the interview, students select the job or industry they're targeting. You can see we have essentially 6 different modules that the students can go through. We have a general job interview, something based off the job description. So a general interview would be, I want a job in, I want a job in the finance world. So maybe I want to interview for a FP&A role, an FP&A associate role in what would be a good industry? Let's say the beverage industry. And they would actually be able to start the interview right there. I won't go through that just yet, but this is the general job interview. So for instance, you don't have the exact job description, but you want to practice for something you think is up your alley. That's the best way to do that. Based on the job description would be actually going on LinkedIn or Handshake or any student job service site that you guys offer to students. And the student could copy and paste the description here, and the AI will actually be able to formulate the entire interview based around that job description. Technical job interview is similar to the job description one, where you would have to paste a description, because these are going to be technical questions specifically about that role. So for instance, going off that FP&A example, it might ask the student about certain Excel functions that the student would likely be using in that role, or maybe Tableau functions, or maybe database functions such as NetSuite for Oracle. It would ask the students about more of the technical side of things, maybe even coding experience as well. Comprehensive interview, again, goes off the job description, and this is just a full interview. It takes around 45 minutes, and it covers everything: general questions, technical questions, behavioral questions, resume-based questions. It combines everything into one. And then I guess we can move on to the resume-based questions, which is something that is probably already offered at your university or school. But this, actually, you can upload your resume in this. You'd be able to upload that right here, as well as some key data that you would be able to see for, we'll come back. You can upload your resume right here, and then you can conduct the interview based on that. And then the last module, or 2 modules rather, is the salary negotiation slash raise negotiation. These 2 modules are for, obviously the raise would be if you're in a current role and want to negotiate your way to a higher salary while remaining in that company. And salary negotiation would be you coming into a new role and negotiating yourself up to the highest salary amount that you are able to. This is something that's very difficult, and as far as the entire interview process goes, this is something that typically students feel the most underprepared for across the board. Undeniably, it's negotiating salary. So that's something that has proven to be very valuable. So you as a university will be able to track student progress and engagement, identify skill gaps across departments or demographic groups, provide targeted coaching where it matters most, strengthen employer partnerships by demonstrating improved readiness, and ultimately support stronger placement outcomes. Now, a point to highlight here is that interview is not supposed to be a replacement to your student career help centers. It's supposed to be an addition and to really make the student help centers glow and grow. So instead of relying on one-off coaching sessions, universities can now offer unlimited practice, consistent, accessible, and available 24/7. So let's jump into an interview here and quickly demonstrate it. So we'll just do this, and we'll do a role I actually got out of college, which is FP&A Associate, Financial Services. We can choose how long we want the interview to be. We won't use the full time here, but we'll just say 10 minutes. And another thing that's very proprietary for interview is that we actually allow students to issue personalities to the interviewer. Now, if you've gone through an interviewer or two, you realize that they're not all the same. You're dealing with people at the end of the day, and The person on the other end of the phone call or hiring table might have woken up on the wrong side of the bed, might have just gotten, maybe they woke up and they were out of eggs, or they woke up and actually got fantastic news. Fact is, their personality, their emotions can sway, can change, and can completely shift and change interviews. You can also choose a style, more formal, semi-formal, friendly, based on maybe the stage of the interview or what you know about the company in general. The interviewer personality default is just kind of your normal run-of-the-mill. You can have empathetic, encouraging, pragmatic, reflective, analytical, creative, inquisitive, challenging, growth-oriented, formal, and critical. So we'll just go with the default for now. We're going to test the microphone. Hello. Hello. Fantastic. So we're going to start the interview, and you can get the sense of how these go, at least for the general interview.
Hi there, it's great to have you here today. I'd love to hear a bit about your background and what led you to pursue the FP&A associate position in the financial services industry.
Yeah, well, coming out of college, I've always been very interested in the finance world and specifically the analysis side of it. So I think that the logical step for me would be to move into the FP&A world and be able to actually, I guess, excel at the analyst side and really learn about how certain numbers can affect certain outcomes and vice versa.
That sounds like a solid foundation. Could you share a bit more about your experience so far? Have you worked in any roles where you've been involved in financial analysis or planning?
I have not, but for my own personal finances, I plan those out quite rigorously and I track every dollar I spend. I have all sorts of graphs and all sorts of features built into Excel spreadsheets where I actually track all the money I make, keep, and spend for the month. And I have been doing that for quite some time now, and it's very interesting to me.
That's a great start to building analytical skills. Since you're looking to transition into FP&A, how do you think your personal finance management experience could translate to handling larger scale financial analysis in a professional setting?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
No worries at all. Let me rephrase that. When you manage your personal finances with spreadsheets and track your income and spending, you're essentially doing a small version of what FP&A professionals do, analyzing data, identifying trends, and making informed decisions. How do you think those skills could apply to a larger, more complex financial environment like a company in the financial services industry?
That's a good question. Well, all right, and that is the interview software. Now, a few things to note. Obviously, in this college logo box, we are actually going to be able to put your specific school logo to where students are this so to where this web app is going to look like a collaboration with your school. And that's exactly what it is, right? We would be collaborating and helping your students prepare for interviews. So this would be our logo right next to your logo on the top bar here, so that students can associate this tool with your school as well. And that is the main gist of this tool. So the result of using a tool like this is stronger interview performance, improved confidence, and significantly better preparedness across the student body. Universities can support more students more effectively without increasing staff workload, as well as the fact that your student placement will be much higher and your student satisfaction postgraduate life will also increase significantly. If this product is interesting to your school, let us know and we can set up a demo and you can kind of have free reign access to test it however you'd like.